role of QC is to determine if you're doing the right things right. We all have limited money, people, and time. And I don't know about you, but I often find myself spread very thin. But at the end of the day, at the end of the week, or at the end of the month, how do you know if you're doing the right things right? As a QC specialist or a QC manager, the only way you can tell if you're doing the right things right is to look at your QC OSAs, SSRs, CERs, MORs. You look at those items in CEDAR. They all tell us what we should be focusing our limited resources on. These tools should tell you where your facility's systemic issues are. And given your limited time, people, and money, they should tell you the issues you should be addressing. When you look at your QC OSAs, CERs, MORs, what do they tell you? Do they tell you if you're doing the right things right? Are the things you're investing your time in having any effect? You and I are expending an enormous amount of personal and agency resources on training, OJTI, briefings, investigations, conducting SRTs, SSRs, local safety council meetings. The questions that should be in your mind are you having an impact? And are you doing the right things right, and are they making a difference? With a robust QC program, you are reporting and documenting what is actually occurring in the operation. You know exactly if you're doing the right things right, and if they are making a difference. After you address a systemic issue, did it have the desired effect? Is it fixed? When you look in CEDAR, does your QC data tell you if you're doing the right things right? The role of QC is to determine if operationally you're doing the right things right. I think we all have a general feeling of where we are, but do you have the supporting documentation to support your hunch, your feeling, or your supposition? The role of QC is to determine or prove if you're doing the right things right. So my question for you is, are you doing the right things right? QC makes flying safer. We make flying safer. In 2013, 25 million commercial passengers flew through the Thanksgiving holiday, and all of them got to their destination safely. Current statistics show today that if you flew every day of your life, every day, probability indicates that it would take you 19,000 years before you would succumb to a fatal commercial aviation accident. 19,000 years. That's because you make flying safer. A professor at MIT, Dr. Barrett, calculated the chance of dying from a commercial aviation accident versus a driving accident. You are 19 times safer in a plane than in a car. Every time you step in a plane, no matter how many times you fly, you are 19 times less likely to be involved in a fatal accident. That's because you make flying safer. You have an opportunity today to make flying even safer. Aviation accidents and incidents occur because there's a breakdown in the safety redundancy in the system. The holes in the cheese line up and accidents occur. QC shines the light on those little things your facility is doing well and those things that need to improve. By helping the operation focus on the little things, you can reduce the chances of something significant occurring. You can help break the error chain, and you can make flying even safer. I know what you're thinking. You want to make a difference, but you only have so many hours in the day. There's more work than you could ever get done. You just don't have the time to do all those observations, pull those reports, develop those corrective action plans. You don't really have time to make flying safer. QC is not an individual effort. As a QC specialist or a QC manager, it's your role to facilitate the use of the QC process. Yes, I said facilitate the use, not do it yourself. By engaging managers, supervisors, and employees in the QC process, you can make flying safer. This promotes more eyes looking, more ears listening, and ultimately, more learning. You'll have the data that is better because you'll have a variety of perspectives. QC facilitates the process, which focuses the operation on the little things. And yes, you can make flying safer. Without continuous positive change at the local facility level, all the safety data that you and I collect is useless. It is local QC that pulls together national safety initiatives, service area QC initiatives, and local facility performance and most importantly, uses that information to make positive change stick. It's local QC's role in the overall FAA safety process to influence continuous positive change at the local level, and then make that change stick. Chip and Dan Heath wrote a book called Switch, and in that book they talk about making change when change is hard. They use a rider, an elephant, and a path to describe the change process. There's no way the rider can physically move the elephant, and no way the elephant can negotiate the path without the help of the rider. By working together, they can navigate the difficult path to reach their destination. The overall role of QC in the FAA safety program is to influence continuous positive change. QC brings into focus national, service area, and local safety initiatives. If we use Chip and Dan's rider and elephant metaphor, we have to educate, communicate, and influence both the rider and the elephant to navigate the path of change. Let me assure you, the path is not straight. There'll be false starts, and once in a while, you and I will make a wrong turn. However, local QC should be there with local QC processes that you will learn in this course in order to make continuous positive change happen. It's through your local QC process you'll be able to influence continuous positive change in your facility.